That was weird. Okay. There we go. That worked. Okay. Because you haven't given him... What the frick? Excuse you? I need to put music on. I had to take the music off for thumbnail purposes. What the frick? You don't have to give me money. Golly, guys. That's not what it means. Is that how you see me? Eesh, I guess I can leave. If that's how you guys see me. I guess I'm leaving. Goodbye. Wow. He's French. What does that even mean? You can deal with Winston Payne, I guess, for the rest of the day. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Because I see how it is. Replace her with Moonless. Wow. It really is that way, ain't it? Well, I'm taking Small Ren with me. Alright. Silence! Rather than living in shame, I will end it all now with this blade. For this is the true path to Ouchiism. Ouchiism? Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is. I knew that would change your mind. One hopes that the only way in which he'll be modeling himself after the witness. Sprig of my top knot, the time is right for farewell. Hope is lost forever. Takasuchi. Where's the channel mascot? She's here. You just have to give me a sec. I can grab her today. I can go get her. Perfect. Well, you wanted me to find Small Ren, did you not? Anyway, hello. Hopefully you guys are doing well. This is just kind of sad, but at the same point, probably need to be done. She's praying. Or you just to be assured? Yeah. Yes, that, but where you just leave needs to be assured. Like, what, just that I leave? I guess everyone's paying respect to the little bit of hair that he got rid of now. Now in regard to the defendant, Ray Mabambi-san. That bit. Yes, Your Excellency? I've reached my final verdict. I hereby find you not guilty. Woo! We get the cherry blossoms. I'm sad we don't get fireworks with the cherry blossoms, but I guess that would catch fire. Court's adjourned. Huzzah! You on the phone keyboard? Huh? What does that mean? 13th of August, 2:38 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicial Defendants, Antechamber 3. It's over. My heart is still pounding in my chest, though. It's all I can do just to stay standing. He's coming! Oh, Employers have such a great responsibility, such a great burden to bear. Instead... What? Okay. Don't they, Naruto-san? Susato! Thank you so much. You were so dashing in there. Ray and Father. Honestly, I'm so touched by everything you've... Oh no, I think I'm going to cry. Wasn't easy, but together we made it. I was on the verge of tears at the end, too. The only reason I'm still here is because of you. Oh no, I can't take all the credit. It took courage to tell the truth in there. You did wonderfully, Ray. So I would have to say that the congratulation belongs to you. Susato, don't be so standoffish. Sorry? We're friends, equals, and the trial's over. So no more of this formal super humility nonsense. It's time to celebrate with swagger. To throw caution to the wind. Caution to the... what? I'm the greatest defense lord, Ryutaro Naruto, and I'm taking you out to a milk bar tomorrow. Or something. Right, I see. I'll, think about it, Ray. Hello! At any rate, we really knocked the wind out of that horrid man. It felt so good. Yes, it was satisfying. It really was. Isn't there anybody else we could throw together? Wow. Hope you're not looking at me, Ray. Oh, my goodness! Of course not! Of course not! There it is at last, Ray's lovely smile. You fought for your friend to the very last. As your father, I'm extremely proud of you. If I said I only knew about Chibi Ruby now. I guess, but I knew about Chibi Ruby for years. I can't believe you didn't know that, but I guess, What made you stumble across that? I can't believe you didn't see it. Anyway. Defense Attorney Ryutaro Naruto. Thank you, but I couldn't have done it without your help. Anyway, it's time to bid farewell to Ryutaro, I think. I shall miss him in a way, but it's back to Susato Mikotoba now. Yeah, someone got stabbed. We haven't even gotten there. Yes, there is 3 seasons. Yes, there is. Anyway. No, we haven't gotten there yet. We're finishing the last little bit of the first chapter. All I can say is that if you remember, Soseki-san, the author, the guy who read. We still have 2 knife cases, by the way, in London, did we? Where's the one? Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? Wow. Anyway, if you guys remember Soseki-san, the author, if you remember what case he was in, apparently we're gonna deal with something similar to that, I guess? So I'll never see him again, then? What a terrible shame. What? Oh, hello. Speaking of Soseki, what is happening? Soseki-san and Inspector Hosonoga. I do hope you've been keeping well. Is that really you? Yes, I had to change my appearance for, well, obvious reasons, I hope, but it's me. Susato Mikotoba. I don't... So dashing, so divine. Still Gibby Hosonoga is still alive and kicking. You can't believe it? He's stronger than we think. No! Undoubtedly dashing, yes, and devilishly divine. Yeah, just look at you. I I had no idea, Miss Sosato-san, Esquire, that you were locum student Naruto-san, Esquire's cousin. Astonishing, astounding, ace attorney. He said the thing. Title drop. Boop. Poor Soseki-san. So confused. I still remember the first time I ever met him. He was in a prison cell in London. Yes, he said the thing. One extraordinary conundrum it was that the unwitting student from Japan found himself embroiled in. But after Naruto-san's skillful defense at the Old Bailey, Soseki-san was free to return to Japan. And now he seems to have earned himself a great fame as an author. Stunned. That's a truly impressive disguise. Even I had no idea. I'm the chief inspector at the police bureau, who came up with Mr. Turtle, no less. I don't think he did. Maybe? I don't remember. I'm not sure what you should be admitting to that. You should be admitted to that. I'm not sure you should be admitting to that, Inspector. Amazing. You're a woman of many faces, I see. Just two, really. And this was a once-in-a-lifetime event, I hope. Oh, I'm not a patch on you, though, Inspector. Well, I am a professional, of course. He's been a waiter, he's been a sailor, he's been a swimmer. Yes, he does. I do worry about Inspector Hosonoga sometimes, I really do. 9 months ago, when he appeared here at the Supreme Court to testify, he was undercover, disguised as the head waiter of a restaurant. He got beat up so many times, golly, and then on the steamship to Great Britain, of course, disguised as a sailor to keep us safe on the journey. Mr. Nippon Wide, yes, he is. He is. Though, that didn't help you, did it, Kazuma-sama? From my perspective, I have to admit that I have mixed feelings about all this. How is he still standing? He drinks a lot of milk and exercises. I mean, now the truth has been lost forever. What do you mean? I've never played Monster Hunter, I just know of its existence. Talking about the murder that the Englishwoman committed at the end of last year. Yes, it was an English doctor she killed, so as I understand it. Dr. John H. Wilson, yes, the man I invited to Japan personally. Well, unless I'm multitasking, you did well too. Or I have a cat that is lactose intolerant. Well, then have like, rice milk or almond milk. Any other type of milk, I guess, that is not regular milk. Like goat milk. Unless I can multitask that much, golly, I'd be impressed. The mystery is, why did she kill him? That is a good question. We never knew why. And now that the culprit herself is dead, we'll probably never know the answer. I don't know. I know a lot of people use it as a substitute, and it's used in a lot of different stuff, so maybe you should try it. On the voyage to Great Britain, we had a most unexpected encounter. With Mr. Herlock Sholmes, the great detective, I mean. Yes, I remember Mr. Sholmes well, of course. Oh, my arch nemesis! How lightly you utter his name. Well, according to the stories published about him in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, the detective once had a partner who helped him solve crimes, a best friend. And that man was an exceptional doctor of medicine by the name of John H. Wilson.
What? Dr. Wilson?
I just can't believe that it's a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think the English doctor of medicine killed here in Japan 9 months ago must have been the friend and partner of Mr. Sloane's. And if that's really true, then the poor girl will never see her beloved father again. Yes, it is very sad, and I don't know how to tell Iris. As you know, I traveled to Great Britain once myself to study. It was around the time you were born. Yes, grandmother told me about it. On returning to Japan, I took up my professorship at the Imperial Yume University. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you could use it as a substitute in cake. There's just probably, like... Because I'm pretty sure goat milk is the closest substitute. So yeah. Hello. I'm pretty sure. You could... Like I said, it's probably just trying it out. But I also served another role as an advisor to the government on diplomatic affairs. Yes, I was aware of that as well. In that case, I'm sure you understand that there are some confidential matters I cannot divulge to you. Are you saying Dr. Wilson was involved in diplomatic affairs? No, you cannot. Could you just tell me one thing? Why did you summon me back to Japan? It's been 2 months now since I returned. When I left England, it was because an urgent telegram had arrived from Japan. It said that you collapsed with a high fever and you were growing weaker by the day. Did he lie? Her father lied.
What? Where did you hear that news come from?
That's what I'd like to know, because after that long sea voyage, I found you in a fine health, Father. Was there something in Great Britain that you perceived might inconvenience me in some way or harm me? Wow. That's really the only explanation I can think of. Dear me, do you reserve your most cutting glares for your father, Sasato? Sorry, my dear, I simply can't. Let me go! Memi Menno-san.
So, one throw wasn't enough for you?
From my spot, wow. Got one last thing to say before they take me away, Professor. Me? I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on. In that visiting student's fate. What? What do you mean?
Visiting student?
Just about where? No. Wait, are you saying Mikotomo caused the accident? To Kazuma? Really? Really? I did not think he would be connected. No, not her. The student of law who left for Great Britain 8 months ago. What? Student of law? He must mean Kazuma's mom. What are you talking about? What does any of this have to do with Kazuma's mom? Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that that guy never made it to England, that he died on that steamship, and that he'll never... Judge? What? The judge just knocked him out. What the frick? Well, I didn't expect to find him in here. What were you officers playing at? Sorry, terribly sorry, sir, Your Excellency. It's weird to see him not 2D. He has... There's sides to him. He is 3D. He's never... The judge has never been seen outside of him seated court. This has never happened before. I was coming to tell you that rickshaw had arrived, Eugen. And it's a good job I came by. Yes, thank you for dealing with them. And I'll be there shortly. Oh, Your Excellency. The trial's over. I'm not Your Excellency anymore. I'm merely your father's friend. Seishiro Jokoku was alive and traveling with an useless goddess. That is a freaking sentence. Oh yeah, today's hat that literally is just a frying pan. Because it's a dark color. May I say that since I saw you last, you seem to have taken on a more dashing appearance. Sasato? Did you know all along from the start of the trial? Judge sees everything, Sasato. I couldn't let you take the risk if Sekshiro here hadn't known, and then he'd recognize you. I'd have a word in his ear beforehand, as an old friend. Wow. Someone doesn't mind using his connections, doesn't he? I'm suspicious. So, Sekshiro, shall we? Yes, having ruled on that case, we can now have various diplomatic issues to address. Before you go, Father. Sorry, my dear, we shall have to return to our earlier conversation at a later date. Well, I'm not saying connections aren't great, but the point is, he has the judge as a friend who knocked out the guy who was going to expose to everyone about Kazuma's passing away. No one knows about Kazuma in Japan that he passed away, except for Sasato. Which is strange, because you know for a fact that there would have been word said that he passed away. So why does no one know that? But well done again, both of you. You did admirably. Yeah, they still don't know. The father, Mikatoba knows, and I think the judge knows, but I don't think the public knows. Because he didn't. Well, I that's already a spoiler I told you guys, but the point is, why is it that they have kept that away?
Oh, thank you very much.
What did you think of my Seishiro sling, huh? It's been a while since I sent a man flying like that. Ho 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 ho. Whatever could Father be hiding from me? About Jezebel Brett? About Dr. Wilson? Well, that's something you guys already knew, you probably forgot. But yes. I'm not telling you, I don't know how? I don't know why. But he's around. Now it seems, according to that reporter, about Kazuma-sama. I'm going to have to bring this up with Father sometime. When nobody else is around. Judicial Assistant Mikatoba Esquire, could I have a word? Oh yes, of course, Suzaki-san. What is it? I think perhaps it could be fate that we're meeting again like this now. You see, there's something I need to tell you. Oh? I believe that it may be related to the reason why your father summoned you back from England. This I have to hear. Please, Sozaki-san, tell me at once. I will! As you know, my time in England was terrible. Cursed, I have no doubt. Such awful things that I was embroiled in. Thank goodness, locum student Noroto-san Esquire stepped in. After he secured my freedom, I couldn't wait to get on a ship back here to my homeland. Having arrived in Japan, I submitted a report about my experiences to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Hello, hello, hello. And yes, he looks nice in his regular attire. He looks less stressed. The next thing I knew, I had a visitor. A visitor? It was your father, Professor Mikotoba. He wanted to ask me all sorts of things about my report. Huh. My father? He seemed especially taken with a particular part of the report. Anyway, he left eventually, having thoroughly quizzed me. What in blazes? But it was the very next day that he sent the telegram to you, asking you to return to Japan. What was it then? The particular part my father was interested in. He's probably sleeping. Because if it's daytime over here... What time was it? Did it tell me the time? I think he's asleep. That or he's just getting up. Is there in different parts of the world, so the hours difference? I don't really know exactly. But I do remember... But do you remember them? Those two terrible cases I was caught up in? Of course, I could never forget. Yeah, he probably is dealing with Irish's shenanigans. Your father seemed concerned himself mainly with the second case. The second one? You mean the one Mr. Slums forbade any of us to talk about in public? What, the Hound of Bakersville? Which is why the only case involving you that any member of the public is aware of is... Wait, there's a second case? Is the first? Well, I don't care. I don't have to listen to what that dastardly detective says. Anyway, the point is, it seems that case somehow holds the key to all these curious unanswered questions. Oh, so that's why it connects to that case. Huh. That horrific, hideous, heinous case, the case of the haunted lodgings. Well, so he didn't leave the next day, so he got in freaking trouble again. We sure that he's not related to the Faye family? Baskersville? Not Bakersville? I don't know. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. The case somehow caused my father to summon me urgently back to Japan. I thought the whole business was over, but it seems I was wrong. I'm talking about them getting in trouble with the frickin' law and being accused of murder. Perhaps that was only the start. Perhaps the story is not yet told. So we're doing a past case. Interesting.
So, the mystery of that English woman's death is solved, thank goodness.
Oh, we're back to Kazuma's
And
grave.
having stood in the Supreme Court now, I think I can comprehend a little better. How you must be feeling as you fight for people's freedom in a foreign land, Naruhodo-san. But actually, I'm writing to you today because of another matter. I met Soseki-san and we talked about that second case he was
Wow, I did
involved
say the
in.
name correctly. Yes!
Father has said nothing to me, but I feel certain of it. That case holds the key to some great unsolved mystery. My notes on the case should still be in the office, tucked away at the back of the shelves on the left. Perhaps you might like to look over them again.
To be this.
Today, for the first time this year, It feels as though summer has arrived. The sky is a brilliant blue.
Well, because you don't hear their voices that
Makes me
often.
long to see you again. Yours, Susato.
Aw. By the way, they gave Cosmo a very nice place. So much older than what you depict her as. She's 16, maybe 17? It's been 8 months? For completion of episode 1. The Memoirs of the Cloud Kokoro. Yeah, that was episode 1. I'm putting on the outfit now since I got to see the, I don't know if I don't know, which do I want more? I kinda want this on him. I guess we'll leave that, see how we feel, and then we'll change it back. Alright, continue. What do you mean 10 separate streams for one episode? There's not been 10 streams. What do you mean? It's only been 2.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road.
Which I guess this is what
As the victim lay
Dr.
at
Wilson
death's
sounds
door,
like.
the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight than in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night.
Dude, a little close. Hello.
I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day. Haunted apartment of death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas.
Really? Huh.
Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene, it only proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
Oh, great. My name is Ryunosuke Naruto. I'm a fledgling lawyer just starting out on my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived at as a visiting student of law. I made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective. And we live in his attic. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy of any sort. I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey. You'd have to ask Dylan that question. I forget what he said. Turn of the century. Was this a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle? 4 months ago now. I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I lost my right to return. What? But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale, a tale which was now about to awaken from slumber, thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. Why did you lose your right to be in? Why did you lose your right to be in a courtroom? What the frick did you do? You really are Phoenix Wright's ancestor. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. Must be nearly time for breakfast. I better go down to Mr. Sloane's suite and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. Yeah, what did we miss? What did he do? 30th of August, 7:28 a.m. Sloane's suite.
Oh, Bruno, good. I was just about to call up to you. The bacon's ready.
Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. But before we eat, though, I have some news. I had a surprise this morning. feel about this outfit on him. So we get to stare at this all the time. Maybe because they found out about Sasato? Well, they knew about Sasato committing the thing, so maybe that's why. Shh, not another word, Mr. Naruto. He looks... The hair looks like something. Like what? This could just be the truce thing for my pre-breakfast stagnation repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Morning to you too, Mr. Solms. Ah, yes, I see. So that's... Excuse me, that's a little close. What the... Hi. Can you like, back up? Okay. Thank goodness he backed away. It was like, oh my god, that was so close. Took up the whole screen. The truth is clear to me as day. My facilities of observation have revealed it again. Oh, Sloms? Never. He's never heard of personal space. What do you mean? He literally held on to a coat hanger in the corner of the room to not be spotted. What are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruto, you have this very morning met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Well, I thought they were here. Maybe they're not. They leave? Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button on your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? But of course. Though I don't look for anime. I can't English today. But of course. Though I don't look for admiration, you understand? My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Oh, it has? And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you.
Hurley, you pulled your button off?
I can't English. Right now. Admiration. Oh yes, I recall the incident. It was after supper, was it not? As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunting tune. But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why? Me? No. When did the swap happen? When we started the second chapter? Which is now. And no wonder then that in my vexation, I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Why mine? Why did you have to get Ryunosuke's button? Don't you have a ton of buttons? Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. It is troubling me that you expect me to know where it is, somewhere thereabout on the floor, one presumes. Helpful. What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring.
But Hurley, Riddle said when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning.
Oh. Well, that really is a surprise. Yes. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire, the famous consulting detective, Sherlock Holmes. I cannot take him seriously with that frickin' mask. I'm going to switch Sherlock's costume, so that's the amount of time you got. Because I think these outfits are funny. But I do like Sherlock's original outfit. It's not a bad outfit, it's just... I can't take him seriously with the mask on his... It's like, I can't. The mask is just staring me down. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the mask is his goggles. Huh. He really just never takes those off, I guess. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name.
Alright then, enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it goes cold. And I have new herbal tea for you to try, too. My latest special blend.
My gosh. You... Well, we knew you liked Sherlock, but golly. I do agree that he looks very nice without the hat. He's got very fluffy hair. And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Slum's lodger and companion. Yes, he made it in time. We really haven't changed that much. They're literally just introducing everybody again. A truly exceptional young girl who is the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is published in Rancid magazine. Yes. So, Mr. Naruto, why did you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Well, I received a letter from Japan.
Oh, from Susie, you mean? Was it? Really?
That's right, and she had some rather startling news, in fact. That depends on you. If you're hungry, go grab food. Oh. Better to have food and be satisfied than not satisfied, I guess. So it depends. Depends on your stomach. For me, obviously, I eat before stream. Way before. Oh, intriguing indeed. You shouldn't. Goat milk has different, atoms than cow milk, from my understanding. But I like guidance. Okay. Well, some people apparently eat watching the stream. It just really depends, so... Golly, like guidance. I guess it depends. If you have something like pizza, then you can have it, like... during the stream. I don't know. You must tell us all about it over breakfast.
Oh yes, what fun!
Oh, we finally get to move? Converse. Cesato's letter. This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning, by international post.
Oh, how lovely! Look at Susie's beautiful writing! I wish I could read it.
I think that says... Ryunosuke Naruto? Because that's an N, I think. And I think that's an R. 221B, I think Baker Street, where we are. And I'm guessing... I don't know what the rest of this is. But these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 stamps. Sandwich. Well, enjoy it. If you enjoy an egg sandwich, enjoy the egg sandwich. I don't even know what this is. The name are in English, yeah. So I'm wondering what these are then. Is this her address? So clean. Oh, well, that's good. Means you liked it, so that's a good start. And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case.
Oh, really? Oh, isn't she wonderful?
I wonder if we'll encounter a female lawyer. We haven't really encountered a female lawyer yet. Except for Susato, pretending to be Ryunosuke's cousin, so... Cut above your good self, my dear fellow. I won cases too, you know. Apparently Mr. Natsume appeared in the trial as a witness. Natsume. No, I don't recall that name. Of course you do. We helped the man. Twice. You know, in those two cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago. Ah, the mustached, twitchy man with the somewhat feline eyes and that mustache. In this day and age, it wouldn't be impossible. For what? Huh? What, a female lawyer? Yeah, of course. Female lawyer, there's tons of female lawyers. I'm talking about in this time period. I don't know, does any history buffs in here know if lawyers were around during this time period? Like female lawyers? Because I'm assuming... maybe? Japan, we know in the story it's a no. I don't know about England. None? I personally doubt it. Not until the 20th century? Okay, so not yet. Yeah, unfortunately. That we know of. Except for Susato, I guess. Yeah. Came around late 19th century. And this is before that. Okay. Alright. Well, for all we know, there might have been women around, we just don't know. They might have been behind the scenes type thing, if I had to guess.
He didn't have two mustaches, Hurley.
Yes, who could forget those two cases? They made a very deep impression on me. You forgot his name. You didn't remember who the frick he was? Although, I must confess, the details are a little hazy now. A very deep impression they made on you. Clearly. Startling news. So, what was this startling news penned by Mr. Sato? Relatable names are hard. Yeah. I guess. But if they dealt with two cases with the same guy, you think you would remember. Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sloanes? Ah, yes, it's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. He's totally forgotten then. Anyway, in her letter... Yes, anything is possible. It's a good thing I could call you Ren from the start. Well, that was the whole point of what it is. I don't know. I just like the funny rhyme scheming. Yes. Miss Sato asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further. If you want. If you want to type more. I don't... It's definitely random, but if you want to. Though it took place half a year ago, for what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. Oh? On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Mrs. Sato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram.
Oh, that case, yes. It was very strange, wasn't it?
Heavy teacher vibes. Yeah. Yes.
And I had compiled the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication, too. But then Hurley, he was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean.
Okay, so it's a different... So this is the second story that he has shot down of Iris to publish. I wonder why. I think he would get rid of the R-E-N of Renaissance, so that it'd be Renaissance Kanekumi, if that's what you're trying to do.
That story must not be published, he said. Very mysterious as well.
Really? I said that? Are you sure? I can't tell if you're playing dumb or actually being dumb. Do you perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Slomes? About why Mrs. Sato was suddenly told 4 months ago that she had to return to Japan? Mrs. Sato's repatriation? Huh. Pretty much at this point. Yes.
It's been 4 months now since we waved Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan?
Indeed it was, due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right, telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father had passed away. What? No, he was sick. No, it was just that he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. But according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse.
A ruse? So Susie's dad lied to her so that she'd make the voyage back home? Why would he do that?
I have to admit, I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder what Mrs. Sato's father is hiding.
Hurley, do you know what it is all about?
Yeah, weirdly does. Oh, he's fully kitted out again. Oh, well, who can say? What? But you said... Why are we having people keep secrets? Like, what is with all the secrets? Please, I have my engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. You have a calendar? Where? But yourself? Not even Iris? Not even Iris? Is there fun? Hang on. Sorry, checking things. Iris is like you, exceptions to confirm the rules. So she's an exception? Well, that's good to know that you guys agree that she's not being like a minimal of trust, but not all the way. I was gonna be like, come on, Iris is, you can, like, Iris is freaking dead. As you are? Wow. Well, thanks, I'm glad that you guys think that highly of me. Dog just being needy. Just seeing what the dog needed. But yeah, Iris is still 10. She's still 16, so it hasn't been a full year yet. I still can't believe he's 34. That's amazing. And a stringent? I think that's stringent. And a stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man the fort in my absence, would you, Iris?
I will, Hurley. Don't worry. See you later.
Adieu. Okay. You scuttled off there rather quickly there. Being 16 with the voice kind of shows how mature she is most of the time anyways. Yeah. She is very mature. I think perhaps Professor Mikotoba isn't the only person hiding something here. Soseki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. Good skincare is a wonderful thing. By, of all people, Mr. Sloane's.
Aha! I found them at last.
Iris, are they...
The notes about the case? That's right. Susie and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Bruno?
Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could still be hidden in the shadows of this case. But perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light.
That's the spirit.
Alright, we're finally getting into the case. Finally! And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and the fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail. I just need to find a clue, and I have all the time in the world. Because of the course, I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. Wait. I'm so confused. So, this happened before. So was this the cause that caused it, or is it because of the last case in the last game? What did you do? What the frick did he do? It was 6 months ago, a mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement of Briar Road with a knife in her back. He had to have messed up really bad. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. The fog was thick and nobody saw her tack her butt. By a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sloane's. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Sosato-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Yes, I told you. He really is Phoenix Wright's ancestor. And for the people that know, they know. I'm not going to spoil if you don't know. Joyful, joyous, jubilation. Jubilant, jubilation. Was the man's reaction after the trial, but his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. We received a telegram from Mr. Sloane's the following morning. The victim of Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bart's at once? Huh. Hey, if you know, you know. That's all I have to say. So Susato-san and I summoned a handsome and headed immediately to the hospital. Oh, did she get the same room that Shlom's had? There's... By the way, I'm gonna move. This is in here, by the way. In a hospital. This ain't good. This ain't good at all. Let alone the cracks and everything. What the frick is this doing here? Excuse me. Can you leave? Yeah, how did it? I don't know either. 21st of February, 5:30 a.m. And the frickin' sun's that far out. We are lucky. St. Bartholomew's Hospital Recovery Ward. There you are at last. Good morning, Mr. Slomes. I think not.
Oh.
You're late. What on earth took you so long? Keep her company? No. She doesn't need that.
Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Slomes, and it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital.
That's right, and it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. Yeah, these are the outfits that you can use for the second game, and I really like it. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I have been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. The world does not evolve around you, Slomes. Even though you believe that. I changed Ryunosuke's outfit. You just can't see it right now, because we're not seeing him until we get into the court. In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. And feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been aroused at such an hour, sent one to you. Wow, he is so petty. He is so petty. Oh, I got woken up at 4 a.m., so you must suffer. As have I. Okay. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. So that's a lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with a knife in her back.
Her name is... Ah, yes, here we are. Miss Green.
Can we talk about the mouse?
A mouse, Mr. Naruto. An enormous mouse.
So, to others' perspective, they look like family? I'm more confused on what you mean. They have a more English look than they do, if that's what you mean. I don't think she has more normal body proportions for what her size is. Vermin in a hospital? That doesn't seem the best.
But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump.
She's talking about this stupid thing. Why is it still here? Why can't it go away? Why does this mouse exist? But in different colors? I guess you could think of it that way. I don't know. I don't think he has the exact same accessory. She has hearts. He has goggles. I don't know if they have the same thing. I'm not sure we can say that down to the excellence... Oh, I'm in the way. To the excellence of the I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility. If that's what you're thinking. I don't like... And that's a giant mouse. I thought it only looked enormous because of the camera angle. Apparently, it's plump and well-fed. So that's even more worrying. This poor girl was stabbed in the back, and there's a freaking mouse in here. Well, I'm pretty sure very young? I'm not sure. But yes, that thing is huge. That freaking mouse is huge. Let's say hello. Good morning. Yeah, she is definitely on the smaller side. Hello, I am Ryunosuke Naruto. I'm from the Empire of Japan. I'd probably think, what the frick?
Oh no, was it your knife that... are you the man who...
No. I'm a lawyer.
I'm Sasato Mikotoba, pleased to meet you. Oh no, was it your knife then? Are you the one? No. I assure you I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant. We heard that you'd regained consciousness and wanted to come to give you our best wishes. Best wishes? For me? Thank you. I'm Olive Green. I'm an artist. Well, no. That's not right, is it? What I mean is I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what I really mean is I desperately want to be an artist.
She's got paint brushes in her, pocket.
But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back.
Oh no! She's 20. An art school student whose ambition is to become an artist. She just regained consciousness, having been comatose for days after a stab wound to the back. Wow. What a freaking synopsis. I don't think that's related, actually.
Gosh, this young lady seems to be bent over backwards to put herself down.
Oh no. Now, poor Olive is just not dealing with all of it. She's definitely on the younger side. Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. She's gripping that key so tightly, I wonder. About the incident. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green.
It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick. I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago, now I think. Is that right?
Yeah, she's got baby face.
Nothing wrong with that. Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. But the case has been solved, hasn't it? Well, I've been here in hospital, I mean.
Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly by none other than I, Herlock Shlomes. It was me, thank you very much, Herlock. What is this frickin'... You helped. Don't get me wrong. But I did most of the work. You were in bed.
Mr. Shlomes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruto's hard work in court that solved the case.
Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to come in to fill me in shortly. Oh, I see. Me coming around seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. What the frick?
Child! You're okay! Don't say that!
It was selfish of me.
Is really? I thought he was a college student. I don't think he's 16. Is Ryunosuke 16? Ace Attorney Ryunosuke. The poor girl. How old is he? He's 23. What do you mean 16? He's 23. Susato was 16. Just a what? Yes, 16. 23. He's a university student. He went to... Him and Kazuma were university students. Who's the first in a row? Is it Iris? Time out. What? He got handled by a woman 7 years younger than him? Yes. He's not university. He's 23 years old. He's an English major. Yes, Susato was 16. Kazuma is either 23 or 24. What is happening, guys? Are you guys okay? Where the frick? Let's see, it's... that one. My gosh. Cute, lots of stuff for legal in that time period, golly. She's 16. That is what the game says, is she's 16. Thank you guys if minds have been blown.
Oh no, we're also relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. We really are.
With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. Oh, come on, Ryunosuke. I don't think any of them look their age. She's 20! And apparently, her lock is 34. And, Lord Van Zeeks is 40? 50? I forget how old they say he is. So you're an artist, are you, Miss Green?
Oh no, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really. At the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts.
So they gave him a baby... Such a baby face? Probably. I'm gonna double check how old Van Zeeks is. I forget how old he is. Ace Attorney Van Zeeks. How old are you? He's only 30. He's either 32 to 33 years old. He's only 32 or 33 years old. What the fuck? Wow. Wow. He stresses himself out. Now that makes much more sense. Yes, that does. That does.
Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts? Great Britain is such a wonderful country.
He's gotta teach me his skincare routine. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts?
Oh, no, actually, I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road.
I see. How very interesting.
No, is it?
Brixton is some 10 steps away from the underground from here. And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton town center. Does that matter, Mr. Slomes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is far less... Solberous? The far less Solberous part of town by comparison. Dwelt in by those of inferior means. Including the... Oh my goodness, words. Maleficent? Oh my gosh. Words. It's not Maleficent. So how is this said? Is it Maleficent? Is that really how it is said? Maleficent. Maleficent. Huh. I guess it's just... I thought it sounds more like an... Middle? It sounds more like an I. Okay, so wow, I can't believe I got it. Including the Maleficent Mr. Mustache. Inferior means, I suppose Soseki-san does fit the bill. Oh, come on, man. This poor guy's dealt with enough. It strikes me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine art student to be walking in such a district. That's all. What's this? She suddenly clammed up. Does she have, like, an influential parent? Sleep. Yeah, Soseki doesn't get any frickin' sleep, are we kidding? Well, we either have him in the... I don't even know. He probably has the mask on in the other one. That can afford to be an artist. Maybe, we don't know. I'm just taking a guess. I could be completely wrong, but the way that she clammed up about it, it's very interesting.
Mr. Slomes, you shouldn't be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself, prying into a young maiden's private affairs.
Oh, dear me, do forgive me.
If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things.
In this place? Yeah, I would say it would be very... Well, if the police found her and put her there, maybe. Maybe her family gave her the flat and just don't talk to her. Who knows? Maybe she's, estranged from her family. And the only thing that she got from her family was the flat that she lives in. Oh yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. I want to see what this is. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Does she have a crush?
Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman.
Looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. She's got a crush. Where's her brother? Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think?
My, Mr. Naruto, I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart.
Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Is there a Mr. Narrow Fodder here? Mr. Narrow Fodder! Narrow Fodder now? Well, if you're looking for Naruto, the lawyer, that's me, but... Ah, Mr. Narrow Fodder, good. This is for you. It's a message from Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg. My goodness. I'm assuming that's Soseki Natsume. So Nutsmeg Natsume? What do you mean? What the frick do you mean? This gives the vibe that he can't make it through a sentence without stumbling at least 5 times when talking to someone he finds attractive. Okay, guys. Mr. Natsume sent a message to me?
Why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsume?
Exactly. What's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? What are you waiting for? Let me see that. Oh. Well, this is most unexpected. Is something wrong, Mr. Slomes? Is something wrong, Mr. Slomes? He says. Have you not seen this note? You took it from me. How was I supposed to read it? No, how could I have? It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. That's a username we'll be using in the future. Oh no. And then you remember Mr. Soseki Natsume. Poor man. A new case calls, a case of murder no less. We must depart at once.
Murder?
Call a cab. Time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. That will be entirely convenient.
Convenient? What do you mean?
It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings. That place really is cursed, isn't it? Wait, what?
Oh, hello.
What the frick? Biker? At once? What the frick is that? It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now, the very next day, there's a murder at the man's own address. He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. No, that's the Payne family. Or Phoenix. Or so it seemed to us at the time, but we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought. Well, good luck with the PowerPoint. Is an old French word? How is it said? If you could tell me, please. 21st of February, 7:18 a.m. Mr. Natsume's lodgings, ground floor. Oh! Huh? Oh, is this the room that he lived in before, so someone moved in? Maybe English too, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So, you know? Okay. That's fine. So, is this what they meant by the jester at the beginning? Huh. What on earth?
Oh my, the gentleman is deceased without question. He's dead.
The locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire. Mr. Natsume. Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just gotten out of court yesterday. I was finally home after 2 days of misery. And when I wake up the next day to this, no early bird should catch a worm like this. Awful worm without wiggle. I see you in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. Oh, not the horrible herdlock slopes. Shoo off. Shoo off yourself to the door. I never invited you.
Mr. Slomes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume.
I'm entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? Oh, hello. Here they are already. The busybodies. The busybodies. Oh, Inspector Gregson. What a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see your face at a crime scene, Slomes. Aha! I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of the excessive consumption of fried food. He's probably not wrong. Good morning, Inspector. No, this is a crime scene. Don't you go touching anything. And beer? Did he have beer? I know he's had tea. Lots and lots of beer at the time. Oh, boy. Or good morning to you too, sunshine. Oh, boy. What's this on the floor? Oi, I said hands off. You're gonna mess up my crime scene. Oh, no. I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance, I know you're kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it. Well, someone's in a bad mood. There's certainly some bad hair in here, isn't there? Alright, it sounds like I better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. This water was of less quality. That's sad. That alcohol was in better quality than H2O. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? I wonder who this is a reference to. I wonder who would be a reference to. We got play clothes over there. We got a stage set over there. We got the frickin' puffy sleeves. My gosh. I didn't. Well, I guess it makes sense. Of course, you had to bring him into the story if we're gonna have a Sherlock Holmes look-alike. They didn't know the secrets. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. Yeah, not at all. Wonder who he could be. Is Mr. William Shakespeare. Shakespeare. I'm gonna lose it if they mention me. He's a lodger here. As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss as it seems, or just dead. Mr. Shakespeare? Was the landlord old Mr. Garib and the old other lodger Mr. Natsume who found him. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Garib got worried and kicked the door down. I applaud Garib. He really has been exercising. He can kick down the door. He needs to be getting out of the chair. Doesn't Mr. Garib have a bad leg? Oh yeah, you're right there. It was that jittering Japanese hunch over there who actually did the kicking. He's safe? What does that mean? He should be safe, but what do you mean he should be safe? Really, Soseki-san? The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. Is that true? Did Shakespeare, was he have a crime sheet? And no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Miserable life. Miserable end to it. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious. But I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the cohabiter. Wow. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you? I remember right, Shakespeare didn't even finish elementary school. Well, back then, I don't think it was as necessary? I don't know, I'm not exactly sure. Oh, by the way, the puffy collar is also another giveaway. Does that mean the guy has a bald head? Yeah, I don't know. Oh dear, Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again. Wilson and now not the... I have the right to be concerned. Yeah. It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as an odd fellow, doesn't he? Poor man. How unfortunate. don't know. Maybe he did something while he's drunk. I have no idea. I don't know. Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. I don't think the fellow's been a goner that long. The bar's still warm. Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. He's also got bells. Why do you have bells? Is that comfortable? What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences. So the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room is just 1 story up, isn't it? Yes, that's right. In a way, we're neighbors, I suppose. So did you know the victim? Were you friends? Well, you're an English student, and if he does plays... and you're around the same age. And he's an actor, so I think it would fit to be friends. By the way, isn't this a beautiful expression? Soseki, you gotta be honest. What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Well, I suppose he was a complete stranger. Apparently died of a fever after drinking too much. That sounds like an Englishman way to go. But, did he ever invite me to his room? Never. On my honor, I swear it. What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruto? Probably. When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking you to come. Through that inspector over there. You guys see him too, right? You see what I'm seeing, right? You see this. What are you doing? What are you doing? He should probably hit something in his record because he had a line saying something spicy or unflattering about the crown. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. I think it was about, I forget what play it was. Waiting for us to notice, I guess. Mr. Sloves, what are you doing? Ha, you only need to observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. There's nothing natural about that pose. Mr. Sloves, have you made some miraculous discovery? Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened. Now, what's our bets that it's probably slightly close, but probably way off? My goodness. Is that everything we need to know, Mr. Slomes? Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I managed to draw out 2 in... Oh my gosh, I can't read. Incontrovertible. Okay. At the present time, I've managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. While he's sitting at a table hunched over with a fork in his hand. Soseki, did you argue with him? Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sloan said significant somehow? No, don't blame me. Forget I was here. I both love how Sloan's with a passion. It's insane. Yes, it is. I think that's the point. And my second conclusion is that There was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense! Soseki, you're freaking... If you didn't want to be seen as the main suspect, you're really not helping yourself now. Alright, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Slum's deductions?
No, please. Pretend I'm not here. Invisible, effable, inscrutable, insignificant.
Impossible to ignore. Insufferable, but also so charming at the same time. It's suspicious even for him. Yep. Yes, I agree. He can be very charming and interesting, but also is just a pain in the neck.
You must tell us everything, Mr. Slum. Spare no detail.
But of course, let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions, presented for your pleasure in 2 acts. We've heard some truly astonishing great deductions from Mr. Slums in the past. No doubt this will be no exception, but miracles will unfold before our eyes this time. So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes, this is logical and reasoning spectacular. Act 1. Oh no. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Cause of death. Oh boy. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Oh, wow. Foam at the mouth of the deceased could indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate, which contains, you will observe, one hat. What?
That's soap? Why did he eat soap? Huh?
That can't be soap. Please tell me that's not actually soap.
I'd more believe he ate a stick of butter than soap.
One half of a sizable bar of soap, meaningful indubitably. That would explain the foaming. Yes, it would, if it was soap. Why is the soap set so purposely upon the dish? Like the victim's Last Supper, in fact, yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The fork reveals the answer.
Well, of course soap tastes funny. You're not supposed to eat it.
It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by the poison that tainted the contents of the plate. Soap and the laughter about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive indigestion of foul soap.
Oh boy.
Though personally, I have greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course.
Does Iris not feed you good enough food? Why are you trying candle wax?
Conclusion. Poisoning from soap indigestion. Personal death or murder? The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this self-inflicted or murder? The audience will recall the death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man die alone? The single teacup suggests the answer. To draw conclusions on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. What the frick happened to the door? Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Well, isn't that from this morning? Does he hit the door? Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence he wafted an inferior scent. And with that acid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the thereafter. Wow. All possible perpetrator present. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' great deduction. This is the... I don't know what to say. It's something. There's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. You're disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Narada? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap? It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appeasing. I'm kind of worried. Herlock, did you eat soap when you were young? How extraordinary. In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the How long ago did you try soap? You've eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut. What the frick did you eat? And did it? As I writhed in agony on the floor and spilled the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it did. Wow. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It has unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. Oh boy. Believe me, I wouldn't eat it, even if you did. There's something that troubles me as well, actually. Oh, what's that? It's Mr. Natsume. I couldn't help noticing him shudder and quivering out the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' deductions touched a nerve somehow. Probably because Sholmes is kind of close. He's like very close to the target, but just a little bit off. Nonsense. Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last. I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth. Yes, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it at an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. Don't we all? Alright then, let's see what we can do. Yes, we have to pick out the key words in Mr. Sholmes' quite brilliant deductions. And discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place. In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. Do you want me to check the logs? I can go check the logs now. For Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Act 1. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Alright, topic 1. I am not reading this again. Holy moly. Alright, careful observation reveals to us Okay. Taste the use of poison. Next to the victim plate, which contains, you observe soap. Why is the soap set purposely on the dish like the victim's Last Supper, in fact? Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. Wouldn't it just be the teeth? Well, you can't deny that the fork implies the man was eating something, or about to eat something.
Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat soap, I should prefer to use a fork than attempt to eat it with chopsticks.
And of course, only half of the bar of soap is left on the plate.
But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate soap?
Huh? Something material. What does that mean? Oh, it's on the floor. What? Yes, I have to keep moving myself around. I might just stay here until it changes things. We'll see. Look, there's more soap on the floor. Mr. Shamspeare must really have loved the stuff.
Let's not jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruto. Look closely at this soap. Do you see that it would fit together perfectly with the half bar on the table?
What the? How can that be?
I think that they are two halves of the same bar that broke apart.
Take that!
Ah! That was the wrong one. I didn't mean that. Whoops. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I was wrong. I hit the wrong button. I got it. Okay, can I go back to what I was doing? Thanks. And a fork in hand, even so, surely you wouldn't try to eat soap, no matter how hungry you were.
That's what we must determine. Was the victim eating soap when he died or not? Until we establish that with some certainty, we shan't make any progress.
Okay. Talk about a slippery problem. I was just trying to look at the cup. Golly. Okay,
Take
there.
that!
Other piece of soap. Now I can move away for a second to then move back. By the way, do you love the little mouse that Ryunosuke has? Look at this. Isn't that cute? Give me a second, would you? Could it be the man was about to eat it? Of course, the other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really. For no depth of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. Slomes, you have no right to speak on any of this. But yes, look, isn't it so cute? It's got his little outfit. It's adorable. Maybe that's the joke? It could be a joke about soap opera. I have no idea. If that's the theme you're reading into it, might be a good interpretation. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned. Because there was no sign of any food on the table. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruto. And the one that furnishes us with the answers we seek. Okay, the soap, poison. The victim's life was claimed by poison on the plate. But if he didn't eat it, Mr. Slomes is still pursuing the soap argument then. He did not write opera, from my understanding. He wrote comedy, he wrote tragedy. I don't know if he wrote opera. I think it's more of a joke on this character, Spear, than the actual Shakespeare. At least I don't think he wrote opera. If he did, it's not been talked about much.
Perhaps he suggested the man lick the soap rather than ate it.
If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all.
Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it?
Saying of the theater, nerds, and opera is just a musical thing in the prequel, but I'm sure he didn't write operas. I'm pretty sure. Oh. Well, hopefully it just needs to charge. Yes, a Western vessel for the serving of infusions of dried tea leaves. What the weird way to say a teacup.
It's a teacup, Mr. Naruto. As you well know, stop putting on airs. And it's empty.
Oh, so we've already established that the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However, there's a significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking tea.
My thoughts exactly.
Take that!
It didn't charge? Well, obviously something. You might need to go ask customer service that question. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop. Yeah, you might need to say, hey, something's going on here. Because that's not supposed to happen. There's no signs of food anywhere in the room. Which leads us to an immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. Okay, cause of death. Poison in the tea. Solved. Okay. Self-inflicted or murder. Alright, blah, 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 blah. Why? The way that Natsume just reacts to this. Alright. Why are you like this? Golly, Ryunosuke. Oh, the Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deduction so far.
Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamspear was having a drink of tea.
Well, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by.
There would be nothing remarkable about that, but what troubles me
is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Sloan suggested it. Thank you. Have a good night. There's more to this deduction than it seems.
I must closely examine the scene of the crime again for more clues.
Did he dine alone? How am I single teacup? You gotta go to sleep too? Well, thanks for stopping by. You can't go up. I can move left and right, but that's about it. What shows that someone else was present? Oh! Hello. There's a cup in his hand. It's another Western vehicle for infused...
It's a teacup. And it's too empty. And it is... too, is empty.
Given that he's actually holding this one in his hand, we can assume that this is the cup from which Mr. Shamspear was actually drinking. But if that's the case, this changes everything. Everything we've deduced up to now is turned on its head. I have a bad feeling about this. I almost don't want to say it.
Yes, I know exactly how you feel.
Take that!
Alright, move over here. Did the man dine and die alone? The other teacup suggests the answer. It's also cracked. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. In other words, this was a strong indication that at the victim's last supper, there was a guest present. Please tell, is this actually the shadow of who caused the death? I swear, if it's that one banker guy, I will laugh. At the very least, we can say now with certainty. Ha 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 ha. That somebody else was here in this room last night, taking tea with a victim. What are you talking about? Unbelievable, unjustly, unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, blah blah blah, in which case, what can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Okay. Allow me to lift the veil of doubt. Okay. Do you mean to say you know who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Okay. I'm not sure, like, where this deduction is going now. I'm afraid it's too late to go back. The halcyon days of eating too much soap. But the identity of the guest who was here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about.
Well, you can try to ignore your feelings because we can't ignore the truth, Mr. Naruto.
No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. What gives away the identity? There's glasses, there's a bottle. Is that what it is? This bottle?
It's empty.
Empty of liquid, but full of air. That makes you think, doesn't it?
It makes me think that you're full of hot air. We should be thinking about who else was in the room at the time.
Father Sasada-san's quip in response was cleverer than my original riddle. Wow. We can handle the truth, it just means we have work to do. I can't move any further than... What's the books, then? At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. Overlook these 3 books initially.
I wonder what they are. Let's see. The titles read... Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Canterbury Yearnings, and A Meal for
Garborough? Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before.
It could just be an incredible coincidence, but they're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day.
What? Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed, Suzuki-san had just been to the bookshop and bought them. That's right.
And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim.
Yet Mr. Natsume claims to have never been here before. What does this mean, do you think?
I really don't know what to make of it.
Pile of familiar books.
Take that!
Great. Alright. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the familiar pile of books. Quite so, it is no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the ink to the truth. What? Mr. Natsume, he purchased these books 4 days ago at the second-hand bookshop. That's just a coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment. I'm assuming those are the books. No, never. Non-negotiable. If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. Oh boy. Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. What the frick is this slideshow? Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. Some from behind... close to a crime scene, it seems, yeah. I don't think he didn't. I don't think he committed the crime. I just think that he's very unlucky. That's why I'm saying he's like Maya. He is at the wrong place at the wrong time. Huh. Why do you think he did that? Why do you think he did it? I don't know why you would do that. It'd be weird to leave your books to someone that you murder. In short, there is only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in this room last night as a result of poisoning. And that same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor... was you, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' great deduction. Badum-ching. Soseki Natsume at the scene. Deduction complete. Elementary. Elementary, my dear Naruto. Ugh. Ugh. Not again. Not again. Not again. Not again. Well done, Mr. Natsume. We saw his ego back in Japan, and I assume that the Shakespeare stand-in as a writer too made Natsume felt jealous or insecure about him and killed him. Maybe not premeditated? Well, he ends up back in Japan, so obviously he didn't do anything. Because you have to remember, this is in the past before the one with the Jezebel Britt's murder, so he didn't do it. And why would he, the day of, put himself in a position that would put him behind bars immediately? That seems like such a random thing to do. Yeah, this is in the past. It's Iris and Ryunosuke looking at Susato-san's notes. So this is in the past, before Susato left. Because remember, Susato in the present is in Japan right now. It would appear you're gonna have to come maybe down to the yard again. It's like right after the last game. This has been 4 months? It's been 4 months since Susato left for Japan. This case happened like I said, it's not even been 24 hours. No, it's been 2 days. It's been 2 days since the case of Natsume and the knife hitting Miss Green in the back. So from my understanding, it's been, he got accused of stabbing Miss Green. We proved his innocence, he's released. 2 days later, Miss Green wakes up, which is this day. And apparently the night of the second day, this morning? This guy ends up dead. Oh. But wait! Hold your horses! Yes? Door! Key! Locked! Entry! Exit! Entirely impossible! He's so flustered, he's being even stranger than normal. What, you think that's an alibi? You would have just made a copy. You think he has that type of freaking money, Gregson? Look where we are! I can do a quick timeline if that's what you want to see real quick. I can do that. It's no issue. If we need a timeline, I can just set it up real quick. So, this case happened in between the cases in the first game? Yes. So, let me... Alright, let's do timeline. I need that to be... Okay, we're gonna do this. Bump this up. Not that smart to make a key copy. I agree. I feel bad for Natsume, but I do agree. Alright, let's do this, do this. Window capture. Does it show it? No, it does not. Weird. Huh. Are you gonna make me use frickin' MS Paint? Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to use MS Paint. Give me a second. S. Paint. Never thought I would have to use this. Weird. Oh, does that not even show up either? Wow. That's amazing. What? Oh my gosh. What the frick? You guys see this, right? I'm not crazy to think that that's wild. Thank you, Professor. I guess I can't use MS Paint either. Wow. Anyway. I guess I'll just talk while I'm doing it and I'll show it in a sec. Let me just pull this up. It would be window capture, what the frick? I can't believe that it doesn't show it. Oh, there it is. Okay, weird, so it's just the certain capture thing. Huh. Oh well, I fixed it. Alright. So put it here, sorry, Gregson, you're kind of in the way. Alright. That's one thing. So... Oh my gosh. Let's bump this down a little bit. So it's been 4 months. 4 months since Susato left. If that makes sense. Alright, do this, and delete that, and open that, and then do this. So it's been 4 months since Susato left. Alright, sorry. Alright, so it's been 4 months. No, 4 months, so... I need other way around. Thank you. Susato. For months. Went to Japan. Okay? So Susato went 4 months to Japan. Put that back, please. So she went to Japan. That happened lower on the timeline. So what happened is, on a simple scale, this is the present. It's been 4 months since Susato left for Japan. What happened during that time period is, here was Game 1, Episode 5. With Egbert Benedict, if you remember him, the blonde guy. Mr. McGill, that whole thing. before that, I'm gonna double check because I'm gonna save. When game 1 end, you mean? I'm saying episode 5 was when she left during episode 5. That's why I'm saying it. Go to the title. I need to check something. Huh. Okay. Alright, we'll have that there. Anyway. Then I think it was like a month or two before that was the first game's episode 4. So between the 4th episode and the 5th episode, right here is what we're playing right now, which is Game 2, Episode 2. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So right in between, in this time span, at this point, is 2 days. Now the question is why? Yeah. Do you not understand? This is where the one that we're playing currently is taking place. Because it's a secret case that connects everything and why Susato left. So we're seeing this case now because it's explaining why Susato left for Japan. It's a machete order. So pretty much. But yeah, so if this is the second game, this game between these two cases has been 2 days. Didn't she leave because her father was sick? That's what her father said. I've never seen the movie, so. Her father lied. That's the thing. At the beginning, her father lied. So whatever happened here, and right before episode 5 happens, so right during that, Susato gets a telegram to go home. Right here, during that time. If that makes sense. So, yes, I know what a movie is, golly. But yes, so Susato gets a telegram during episode 5 of the first game. So if I'm nice to myself and actually, you know, give myself space, it's literally Game 1, Episode 4, Game 1, Episode 5, and then Game 2, Episode 2. So it goes whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Way to explain plot that I don't know where it's going. I don't know why I didn't space this out. Golly. The order refers to service transfers to avoid prequels. Do we know why? No, that's what we're figuring out. This whole thing is supposed to explain. This whole case that we're dealing with right now is supposed to be a key point of why he lied. That's the whole point of this, is it's a big piece of why. What is going on? What the frick? Hello? Continue. There we go. Yeah, but why did he want her in Japan? What? You live in the same building after all, you have plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. But? Sorry, sir, you'll get your chance to get your side of the story later. Facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache. Ugh, you horrible slums. Team Mister. I don't think that's what it is. It would be nice if that's all it was, but why would he lie about being sick? It's part of their nature. Might just lie and say, wow. I don't think that's true. Golly. Really has found himself in an arch rival now, hasn't he? Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, the carriage is awaiting. Carriage is awaiting. Welcome, student, Mr. Naruto Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but you have to help me, please. I'm innocent. He's like Larry. I would have returned otherwise, but that's the thing. Why? Why lie? Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. And one more thing. Oh, yes? My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me. Huh. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken. Suzeki-san found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. He went back to Japan because he wanted to run away from Harlock. I see. My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. Wow. Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now.
Yes, that's right. And of course.
What?
Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garib, who discovered Mr. Sham's spear.
Mr. John Garib, yes.
I expect we could find him in his sitting room on the top floor as usual.
Right, we must remember to go and talk to him later, then. Let's examine.
Oh, the poor man, so young to die. Do you suppose it was a very painful death, being poisoned as he was?
Oh. It's foaming at the mouth, so maybe a little bit? I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer would help a British soul?
Sorry?
I made sure I had a reference at the ready for just an occasion, as this is actually...
Hello. As blood is not the important part of the family. I know my father and my stepdad have been dead to me. He was regularly as far more stronger than my mom's ever been. Huh. Okay, guys. Let's pull it back. Pull it back, everybody. Golly.
This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed the British Way.
Oh boy.
I'll just reread it now, one moment.
There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? I'm more like... It's more of like... I don't know what that associates to what's going on with the stream.
What's this?
Looks like a part of an envelope, I think.
Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened.
Is that significant?
Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps. When you look around the room...
We don't know if he's being controlling, that's the thing. We have no idea. When does chat ever have anything to do with stream? When I say that that's what it's supposed to be?
Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps, when you look around the room. There's no sign of a letter. The rest of the envelope, in fact, is there.
Oh, she's right.
And yet we have the torn off end of an envelope. Just strikes me as unusual.
I agree, we better take this just in case. What the frick? Well, yeah, it's my chat. It's my stream, so yes, I do get to I get to make my chat be the way I want it to be. Right, because again when I said to be better off as well. What in the... Okay, let's not trauma. Ripped piece of an envelope that was found in James Smear's room. The rest of the envelope could not be located. I don't think there's anything useful. Why is this locked? And here we have another indisproportionately large machine that looks like a meter of some kind.
Oh, this is a gas meter, I think.
That's a good memory? I don't know.
It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins.
Huh? So they put it in the coin? Wow. Okay. I see. Yes, now you've pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here?
That's right. That would buy you about 2 hours of gas for light and heating.
So if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold? Yep.
Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you got to exchange your money at the bank.
Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. Golly. Well... Okay, I guess... Wait. I already read those. My god. What the frick? Okay, guys, okay. This wall is still something. What better place? You're a psychiatrist. Or a therapist.
As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of a former window tax that Britons had to pay.
What a strange thing they used to tax in Great Britain. Okay, well, good luck with work. Be safe and don't get injured. Hopefully, everything goes good. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property, it's extraordinary.
It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid enough unaffordable tax.
I probably know the difference, I just haven't thought about it.
Oh.
What is it, Mrs. Sottle?
If you look closely, a number of bricks are loose.
Huh? Oh yes, it looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Schmear? Shamspear? Who did it, I wonder? Being the lodger renting this room.
Oh, look at this, Mr. Naruto. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it.
What? Outside? More soap. More frickin' soap.
Brr, it's so cold outside. You feel it through this gap.
Oh my gosh, guys. It did snow all last night. It would be cold. Ferment delicious. Huh. But more importantly, what is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps? It's bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on the ledge outside the window?
I have no idea. The pair of them look rather charming like that.
Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined out outside the window? I think perhaps we should take one. There are two, after all.
Oh dear, I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at this soap.
Ah!
Do you see it? In the middle there? There's a patch that's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but...
Some sort of fancy design, I suppose, only in Great Britain.
Looks like the Hinomaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful. It's probably just an expensive brand.
Expensive? Then what's it doing in this ramshack old room? A bar of soap. What the frick? What the frick even is this?
This part is a different color. It's an exquisite design, isn't it?
Trust the British to turn a boring bar of soap into something special.
I quite like it. It reminds me of Hamaru's design of the Japanese flag.
Okay, that doesn't seem likely, given who it belongs to. It's... well, I'm assuming it's supposed to hide something. There's nothing in there, so I don't see the point of looking closely at it. Oh, it's the receipt again. And the map. Alright, I guess I want to see what is up here. This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall.
Gas lights, a gas stove. London really is a city of gas.
Why do you want to eat soap? Golly, we already had... Herlock tried to... is already eating soap already, so I think we're good on people eating soap today. What food... what soap have you been smelling? Soap just smells like soap. But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Grieve had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they?
Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there.
Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier. I was more interested in the thing that's hanging up there, but whatever.
This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it?
Where does the audience sit, though? For the nightly Shakespeare performances?
Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruto, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office.
Just oil mixed with basic... yeah. So they're mostly food in some cases. But still, why would you want to eat it? What?
Then you can practice your art every single day.
I don't think you should eat soap. That is not healthy. I'll think about it. If you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge.
Well, if that would help you achieve your goal.
This I have to see. I guess we can... the only thing left is this area.
There's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and a bottle. Both of them are cracked.
Yes, not much, are they? What's the matter?
Oh, I was just reminded of a Reaper, that's all.
The prosecutor Van Zeeks?
Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and that he should donate some to the needy.
Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But I don't think he'll do that. You could suggest it next time we meet. Look at those extravagant bright costumes. Somehow they look out of place in this room, with its grimy, shady going-ons. What in the world is that? What game is that?
This one looks like a king's attire.
King? I've always dreamt of being a king. I don't think you want to be a king, Ryanosuke.
Oh, I think you'd be more suited to be a feudal lord. A daimyo or such like.
With such chunmage top knot? Every Japanese man wishes he had a chunmage.
Oh, you look wonderful with one. And you already have the sword.
Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chunmage and a sword? I think that's all we can get from here. Alright, 21st of February, Briar Road. I don't think anything's changed yet. Oh. With the exception of the top floor where Mr. and Mrs. Grebe live, all the windows are bricked up.
Yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows on a property had. In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows.
But the tax has been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all have been opened up again, surely.
Fortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done.
Game real fun. Huh. Yes, that is a sad state of affairs.
Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room.
I suppose that's the price you pay for living in very cheap accommodation.
That seems rather pointless when you put it like that.
Yeah, that's just kind of sad. Huh. Gareeb's room. Oh, the place is mostly the same. Here we are again. The eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode.
We're here because Mr. Gareeb's the one who discovered the incident this morning, don't forget.
I have never heard of this game. Oh, hello, you. Hello, Mr. Gareeb. Huh. I've seen that character's face before. I don't know where I've seen his face before, but I've seen it. Huh. Huh. Oh my gosh. The other day, only money managed, I guess, at least more than health. Wow. It's interesting looking. Oh, they made Donut Country? Huh. Or no, they've only done Neon 1. It's the... Okay. Alright. Well, it's interesting looking. That's all I really have to say on it. I don't know. Oh, you chaps. Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday. It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Gareeb as anyone, really. The 5 jury and was one of the jury in 5 trial. Yep, yes he was. His wife was the one who accidentally stabbed Mrs. Green because of the window. Come straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more bally nonsense this morning.
I wonder if you would mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Gareeb?
Yes, I suppose you'd like to know about that. Dead loss of an actor, chap in the ground floor room. Those were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they? Oh, he's getting up! He's standing! This morning's incident. Must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you discovered what had happened. Alright, well, good night, good night. Thanks for stopping by. Well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but no bully answer.
And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door?
Well, I called on the run-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course. Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept by half an hour.
That's very true, Mr. Naruto. If 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door down every morning.
Well, you know, better to be safe than sorry and all that. Why are you stressed? Is it just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden?
Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door.
Mr. Shamspear. The victim's name is Mr. Shamspear, I believe. Is that right? Yes, William Shamspear took the ground floor room 3 months ago now.
And how would you describe him?
In a word, destitute. Fun.
Destitute.
Destitute? Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in that place like that is either broke or has a bully screw loose. So hard to choose which category Saseki-san would fall into.
Mr. Naruto, that's a little rude.
He was doing research as well. Research? Into what? Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare. Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that. Okay, so there is an actual Shakespeare. Huh. Keeping a poker face at it. I guess.
Yes, William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao in Japanese, you know, and many of his works have already been translated.
Seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Someone was too heavy-handed there. That is, but so Shakespeare does exist in this universe. So is Shamspear supposed to trying to emulate Shakespeare? There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there?
Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shamspear would have had much in common.
Shakespeare's interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope it's not that. I would hope not.
Mr. Naruto, really, how rude.
Okay, yesterday's events. After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning? Oh no, must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily, as I remembered. It was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was out at the time. Mr. Grieve noticed that there was no light from his room or something, I suppose. Couldn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shamespeare got back. And the chap was up till past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. Suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there. Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Is everything alright, Mrs. Sato?
Well, I was just thinking it's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garib, you were up here in your room all evening if I understood correctly.
Is there any other name was a Shakespeare online? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've read it. The Rose and completed the theater. Because of their probably the time. I did not know that last half one. Not a big fan of stairs, not with this blasted leg.
Then, how is it that you seem to know? The precise movements of your tenants on the ground floor, I mean.
Good question. That's a very good point. I can't imagine that you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it? Say, I know what you're thinking, and it's bally outrage. I'm an ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I?
Then how do you know, Mr. Kareeb?
It's the gas, woman. The gas tells me everything. The gas? Speaking gas? What on earth do you mean, sir? How can gas tell you everything? Anything, let alone everything? Well, you're just probably aware the gas is supplied to the building by pipes. The stage, all men and women just actors, right? It might have been. That sounds like something he would say. Yes, I more or less worked that out.
Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main.
Yes, I understand that too. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose would happen? Well, obviously the room would get brighter. Exactly, but at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment. What? They dim? Why?
Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual. And that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mustn't it?
Yes, of course, because everything's connected to a single supply pipe.
Is that supposed to happen, though? It sounds rather undesirable.
Jolly good point. The fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless. Long worn out. I barely got any gas in them to start with. Opposites are also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here and they glow brighter in the rest of the house. Ah, right, I see. So by watching the flickering of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. You've got it. You've got it.
Oh, of course, because when people come back home in the evening, before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires. Clever.
In a point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it use slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house.
Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Kareeb. Absolutely fascinating.
Oh well, nothing to it really. I can't really see that is going to help us with the case either. What I'd like to know is why Mr. Kareeb is so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. Have you... Alright, gonna show you this, you're gonna say no. In quite a couple of days, as you can imagine, I'm afraid I'm rather tired. I haven't really got the energy in the old eyeballs, to be honest with you. Some other time, then. Huh. Bit creepy, too. Yeah. Well, things have not changed, that's for sure. Guess we'll go back to see Soseki-san. Local prison, cell 9. Oh, he's not here. Okay. And no one's here either. Okay, is everyone just gone? I don't think I've missed anything in this room. Not from what I can see, at least. Maybe I need to talk to Garib more? Because the room looks the same. Oh, the medal's been put right side. Good to see Mr. Garib's Medal of Honor still proudly displayed on the wall.
The inscription reads for distinguished participation, if you remember.
Yes, I remember, because I remember thinking even I might stand a chance of picking up honors like that. Wouldn't know it looked at me now, perhaps, but I had my devil-may-care days, you know? Devil-may-care? What do you get up to? Well, all in the past now, of course, and best left there. Best not, I want to know now. There's nothing really different here, like... I guess this is still burnt. We know what that screen is hiding now, the aftermath of the fiery altercation the other day. Don't suppose I'll be able to clear that mess up for some time now.
Oh dear, this must be a very difficult situation for you.
I'll say people talk about twists of fate and whatnot. But this is a twist and a half. Run show all around. He's clearly struggling with everything that's happened. Wonder... It's on her devil days? What does that even mean? Just the days of being mean? Eh.
Oh, a copy of Ransom magazine. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes is being read all over London.
London. London. I can't English.
Isn't it wonderful?
Naturally, one asks oneself if such a singular detective could really exist. Perhaps having met the chap, it's undeniable he's most certainly singular. Singularly dangerous. That's genuine public opinion for you, Mrs. Sato. Perhaps it should be reflected in the stories?
Make no mistake, Mr. Naruto. I intend to snuff out the sort of all public opinion we just heard personally.
Starting to see where Mr. Sloane's untainted reputation comes from now. Ugh. So nothing... Like, this is all the same, so I don't know if there's... Because I can't present profiles. It's your reading skills, I guess. Or just talking for a while has made my brain go, because I can't even read London. Is this still the same? There's always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garib residence. Okay, that is... We've seen this before. The writer's incompetence? Oh, hello, snowman. Why has somebody built the snowman on some sort of pedestal, do you think?
That's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruto. That's part of the snowman's body.
Really? But it already has a perfectly good body.
Well, it's true that British snowmen are usually made with 2 balls of snow. Perhaps this is a foreigner.
And now we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man. I know how he feels.
If anything, it's a Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it? After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs.
Do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much? Oh boy. Well, there's nothing really different here either. But that's the only thing that's changed. But we can see the soap out here now. Where the frick do I go? I guess we can see... This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it?
I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruto. It's an artistic mannequin, I believe. It's used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses.
Really? Not exactly what you'd call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it? What the frick?
No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before.
Yeah, but that's normal in an Ace Attorney game. Well, if you want to draw a full-figure person, it's the right tool for the job. But that is true, but that's a very random thing to say. Oh, this looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place? A zoo?
You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park.
For the pigeons, yes, this is a person. Poor woman. I hope she hasn't read this. What the frick? What in the world? Oh, I haven't even seen the... What's this? Ah, this looks like the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital.
The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so...
He or she is probably running around the hospital, huh?
Oh dear, how worrying.
What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet.
That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings.
She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though.
I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her.
Alright, then let's see what's inside. Change of clothes, no doubt, and...
No, Mr. Naruto, you must never scrutinize young maiden's personal belongings.
But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. What the frick? Were you just going to take her food? What the frick? Ryunosuke, the poor lady has enough issues going on with her right now. With being stabbed in the back and self-confidence issues. Don't take her stuff. Oh, we've done that. Oh.
I'm one of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guests drank from last night. Don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruto. There's bitter poison inside.
I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty.
That's true. So, one was Mr. Shamspear's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from.
But Sasaki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. You gotta wake... Why? Okay, thanks for stopping by. Golly, go to sleep. Oh, that worked, so that was... Just had to move over specifically. Looks like you're having a good scoop around, eh? Looks like you're having a good scoop around, eh? Inspector Gregson, back so soon? After I threw that little Japanese fella in the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cornered off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, we better be leaving, then. Yes, I do, but I give myself more than 6 hours for sleep. Are you kidding? Or at least I try to.
Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low, being back in a cell again so soon.
Oh, look, look! Lou, before you leave, look! Someone's alive! I'm pretty sure we should probably go and...
What's wrong, Mr. Naruto?
He's alive! Out, out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow. A poor player. A zombie. That trusts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. Like Juliet, I guess. Now, how soundeth the next part? 'Tis a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed, oh happy day. What? Walking Dead! Well. The fella isn't dead at all. Streams so late I won't have less than 6 hours of sleep, so hey, it's not my fault. Time changing stuff sucks. What was that nonsense he was saying, though?
I think, yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. Soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5.
Wow, she knows specific. Shakespeare. Huh. So it was. Alright. Bye-bye! Good thing you didn't leave right away. That the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. The man had indeed been poisoned. It transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that now was. Yeah, that was a wow. Oh, someone's peeking in through the window.
Whatever do you think will happen now?
Good question. But a strange situation for Mr. Natsume, arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life.
I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison as we deduced, but it was an accident. Attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody.
I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh, what's this? What's that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's lodgings.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto?
Excuse me, could we have a word? Ah. And off he goes. He just ran off.
I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it?
I do too, but I don't remember. Well, we've done as much as investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again.
Good idea.
Yeah, that was weird. Alright, let's get Natsume's dialogue, Soseki-san's dialogue, and then I'll end for the night.
Look, Mr. Naruto. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now?
Welcome, student Mr. Naruto Esquire. Oh, yes?
What is he? Tell me. Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me?
Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Shlomes?
He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost.
But his diabolic deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me.
Ah, cursed. I'm cursed, I tell you. Well, that sort of hurts.
Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruto. You were heavily involved in the detection, too.
Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news.
Oh?
The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again.
Now, in the absolute worst case, you can only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume? It's terrible. Oh.
I'm stuck in the cell, suffering from silly wrong end of the stick.
You did it. Did you confess?
You're a killer. Why the mustache?
Constant questions. I'm sorry to hear that. Alright, that's that selfish shyster. Wait, make up your mind. Are you dead or alive? And if you were going to come back to life, why bother dying?
Wickedly, wishy-washy, William.
Well, it seems that Mr. Shakespeare was never actually dead in the first place.
Yes, that might make sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last.
Oh,
Oops.
Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shakespeare, didn't you?
I'm not saying another word. I demand to have a lawyer present.
Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we're here to hear your side of the story.
Ugh. Why am I cursed like this?
Yeah, it's like, you want a lawyer present. He is a lawyer. What do you mean? What do you mean? Alright. So, we got through the first one. First part of it, so next time we'll be doing more stuff for the case stuff. That means we're probably gonna see Van Zeeks again. Tomorrow is the second part of Persona 5, so maybe we'll get through that, blackmailer's point, like his palace, so that'd be nice. Thank you guys for watching the stream, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!